Hey, welcome back. It's Food News and Chews Radio. Listen, Sylvia, Norma are here. Chef Jeremy.
He is not here, yeah.
And Connie Jo from Restaurant Week.
That's right.
But Jeremy's not here, and that's sad. But you know what is here?
Let's have a drink in his honor.
We have bourbon. Hello, Norma. How you doing?
Hey, I'm great. How are you?
You've been hawking this special bourbon, so tell us about it.
Okay. So this is a very special Restaurant Week pick bourbon from Maker's Mark.
Yeah.
This was made by Bill Samuels Jr. in his new program with the different flavored staves that they do out at the distillery in his cave.
Cool.
It's a very cool program. So
I love it. And a cool bourbon. So
he has a bourbon cave?
Yeah.
He has a bourbon cave. Oh, it's great. And there's a lab in there, and you sit in there and you taste these different flavor profiles and you blend your bourbon.
Field trip.
Field
Yeah.
trip.
So now this is the official bourbon of Restaurant Week,
Restaurant
right?
Week.
It absolutely
Which we're going to hear
is.
about here in just a moment.
All the restaurants have it, and they're making cocktails with it. And
Okay. So
Cheers, everybody.
let's taste.
cheers. All right. Oh,
Oh, that's very good. Wow.
What do we think?
That's very...
we think good.
Isn't that
Bring
nice?
us more.
So I don't know like flavor notes. I'm not like Jeremy. Jeremy's not here today, so I don't know peaches, peaches or tobacco. I just know it tastes good.
Yeah.
So what is this called? What is this version of Maker's Mark?
This is the Maker's 46 Restaurant Week blend.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is blended specifically for Restaurant Week.
Restaurant Week.
Yes.
So what happens after Restaurant Week? We just got to finish it all during the week?
There were 247 cases, and it's gone out.
Bottles.
Oh, I'm sorry, bottles. And it went out to the restaurants, and when it's gone, it's gone. So that's one more reason to get to these restaurants and try some.
All right.
You got to get it while it's here.
Let's
That's
get
right.
to Restaurant Week and bring Connie Jo aboard.
All right,
talk
Connie
to
Jo,
us.
come on over. I know she
Come on.
is probably
She's-
the busiest woman in Lexington this week
And
talking
her
about.
voice is everywhere.
How are you doing,
heard
Connie
you.
Jo?
Thanks to WKYT,
They have given so much publicity to all
our
of this.
sponsors, since inception in 2013.
Wow,
actually.
that is so neat, and that's Everyday Kentucky. That has
Well,
been a lot of that.
we're all over all the news.
And then I hear your voice, and Connie Jo's still trying to get in her chair, and she's so tiny.
That's okay.
It's like I feel like I'm way down. Yeah, see, look how high that thing
I'm going
is.
to tell you what, the most unprofessional thing is me. I just hit my bourbon glass on the microphone, but it made the most beautiful sound.
but
It does.
that's
that what
okay.
that was?
Yeah, that's what that was. It was a bell telling you the show
All
started.
right, Connie Jo, tell us, how many restaurants are participating, and is there anything unusual about Restaurant Week?
There are 38 locations, locally owned restaurants, and our best restaurants are locally owned.
Absolutely.
Just like yours and
Azure.
Azure. And one of the different things is this bourbon that we just tasted. It was actually crafted by chefs and restaurateurs who got together. Normally the selection program is down at the distillery, but since there were so many restaurants involved, they brought it to us. And
That is so neat.
it was a whole, almost a whole
Connie
day's
Jo, how
work.
long have you been doing this? You are the mama. You're the mama of this.
That's funny you said that last year. This is the mother of all restaurant weeks. And it really is. It's the first one. It is the only one that focuses on our best restaurants and our local restaurants doing what they do best.
Yeah, and you founded this when?
In
11 years ago?
2013.
Now,
Wow.
let's talk about the inception. Like, Restaurant Week, it's a celebration of local restaurants to do their best. Like, 3-course meals and, like, one set price. But what was the impetus? What started
The
Restaurant
impetus
Week?
was Visit Lex, Lexington Convention and Visitors Bureau at the time. It brings a lot of tourism in. Restaurant Week started decades ago in New York City. And they were all over the nation. And Lexington was really slow to get going, and they couldn't seem to get it off the ground. And they asked me to do it, and we did it.
And you did it in a big sort of way.
It started off with a bang.
And how many did you have in the beginning, and how has it grown?
It's, it's really it started off with a bang, and it stayed that way.
Yeah. Is this the biggest ever?
I think this is, from a menu standpoint and what everybody's serving and the level of what's being served up in these multi-course dinners is the most amazing ever, without a doubt.
Yeah, I've noticed that. It's like multiple kind of choices in some cases. I know Chef Jeremy's doing multiple choices.
Yes, a number of them do that. And there's 3 and sometimes 4 courses in these meals.
And by the way, if you go to LexingtonRestaurantWeek.com, you can see all of the restaurants and the menus. And there's 3 price levels. There's the $19 price level, the $29 price level, and the $39 price level. What is the difference?
Thank you very much for pointing that out. Just the level, the restaurant, like more casual restaurants like Ramsey's or Josie's might be at a 19 point, $19. They're still serving 3 courses. You're still going to get your dessert.
It looks like Blue Heron is one of the $19 levels.
Well, I'm surprised by that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
no, Keith.
okay. It's a wrong one.
He sent in a couple, and I just let it slide. But he does. Blue Heron actually has a burger in there for $19.
It looks really. I'm looking right now,
which is not a typical price point for the Blue Heron Steakhouse.
And now these are all 3-course meals, right?
They are all 3-course meals.
And I'm looking. So $19 price level. You're looking at Drake's. You're looking at Josie's. Looking at Pasta Garage, Ramsey's are at the first price point. Second price point is going to be. I see Blue Heron again. Bella Note's on there. Let's see. The Boulevard Grill.
Favorites. Yeah.
There's no shortage of restaurants. There's 38. And then at the $39 price level, you're looking like at Azure and let's see, Bella Cafe and Grill, Castle
Coles,
Farm.
Dudley's, Holly Hill, Honeywood.
All of those. Chef was describing to me one of his choices. He's got maybe one of the ones that has the most. I mean, he just kind of went wild here, didn't he? Baja half chicken. Oh, it sounds so good. A Baja spiced rubbed half chicken, cooked sous vide, then seared over sweet potato, sweet corn, and black bean hash in a citrus jalapeno and tomato marmalade. Yay. I'm in. I love that. So Connie Jo, where will you go first?
I'm going to Coles tonight.
You're going to Coles tonight. Well, let's see what.
Actually, with the owners of the Blue Heron.
Oh, I love that.
So how many
each
restaurants will you eat at for the week? For the week, how many will you try?
I don't know yet. Norman's still trying to get me out.
Do you have a goal? Do you want to hit 15?
Oh my gosh, I'd be waddling. But yeah, I mean, that'd be 15 desserts too.
Yeah, right. You got to do it all.
Yeah.
Gotta watch it.
Seeing as how it's just dinner, there's really only 11 chances.
Yeah. So these are only dinner.
Yes.
These are only dinner. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But this is, restaurants in general, it's a tough business. But over the last couple of years especially, it's been really tough for local restaurants. We saw that with the pandemic, and a lot, sadly, didn't come back. So it's about really supporting the local restaurants and experiencing things that, maybe you've never been to. I'm just going to pick one at random here. Maybe you've never been to Coles, or maybe you've never been to Castle Farm. Well, you get to try 3 different things on their menu, one price, one menu, and it kind of takes the pressure off.
Well, and you know exactly what you're going to spend, and they're all of value, a really big value. The restaurants have really gone all out. There's some that are real fun, like destination restaurants, like Castle, the Kentucky Castle that you mentioned. There's Gene Ferris and Holly Hill over in Midway. Go see Weta over there. So it's it's a good opportunity to get out and about, and there's a zillion reasons to support this, mostly because we want to keep these great local restaurants that define us in business.
Yeah,
we have more than our share.
They do kind of define the bluegrass when you're looking at these restaurants and what they, like restaurants like Azure and Dudley's have been around for decades, and they kind of do define the food scene.
Yeah, it'd be
Lexington.
interesting to go through and see how some of these, how old some of these are. But
when you go to a town that has nothing but chains. There's just no personality. These restaurants give us a sense of place. They boost tourism, without a doubt. They attract new businesses to Lexington. I mean, a new business moving here is going to look at the restaurants.
A city can't grow without a good food scene.
No.
It just can't.
And we're growing. And Sullivan, our sponsor, has really become kind of an epicenter of doing a lot of that. So how do you choose the time of year? Because didn't at one time we experiment with January or something?
Not on my book. But
well, I think during the pandemic or something went on.
It's always been. It was with the Convention and Visitors Bureau, Visit Lex, and we consulted the restaurants, and it's kind of when things slow down. It's before school starts, so it kind of gives a little.
And people
boost.
are in a touristy mood.
it gives you a boost at a typical, slow time of year.
Can I ask why? So why, as someone who's not in the restaurant business, why is the summer slow for restaurants?
Well, the end of the summer.
But it always
People are
it's
traveling.
universal.
I think people are traveling. They're
taking that last chance to take the vacation with the kids before they go back to school.
and I don't think they think as much about eating. They're eating lighter, eating at home, cooking
Grilling
out,
probably at home.
doing all that kind of stuff. So I think that goes into it too, and to the equation on whether you eat out or not. That doesn't stop us, but
And selfishly, here's what I like about it. So I've never been to Italics, and I'm looking just at the list of menus. Never been there. Would love to go. I get overwhelmed by options.
now where are they on the list?
They're on the 39. So when I look
Italics.
at the menu and I get 3, I don't have to pick from a whole menu. I get to pick one of three, one of three, one of three. Appetizers, dessert, and main course. That takes the pressure off of me. It selfishly really does. I like it when people kind of give me, what you like to choose from.
Although you can still order off the
sure,
regular
absolutely.
menus
Sure.
at these places. But yeah, it does take the pressure off
It
if
does.
things like that stress you out.
Yeah.
Connie Jo, does it have any feature of kind of checking off a list that you went to so many to see maybe how many people did go to? It'd be kind of interesting, like a passport thing or something.
Yeah, we've never done that. We get a lot of social media. So when people are in places,
they'll
they're
they'll let you
posting, and
know.
and plus we just know that they all book up, and it's busy, busy, busy. So it's anecdotal from the restaurant owners.
Yeah,
but
well-
there is no contest. No,
You make a good point, though, and make reservations. Because
definitely.
these things fill up.
Definitely.
People.
And if it's an open table and you see that it's booked, it doesn't hurt to call the restaurant. You could get lucky.
Tell them you know Connie. And, so I'm looking at.
That's one thing this does get me is reservations. Yeah.
So I'm looking at all the menus, and again, they're broken down by 19, 20, or 19, 29, and 39, and some have a set menu, and some have a choice of one of 3 appetizers and a choice of one of 3, but and I think all of them have the Maker's Mark, the 46 special pick cocktail, and it's different in all of them. So Sol Good has one with sweet vermouth and Campari and orange bitters, and Bellanote has one with bourbon egg white, simple cream bourbon egg white. That sounds really
Reed
interesting.
Ramsey's. They were a People's Choice winner and a Judge's Choice second place in our
Ramsey's.
cocktail competition.
Okay, so they have a half ounce of peach puree, half ounce of rosemary infused honey, a half ounce of fresh squeezed lemon juice, then the Maker's Mark Private Selection, then rosemary and lemon. I never thought of rosemary with bourbon. That sounds like a great idea.
I like the fact that they don't have any sugar. I like that.
They were very, very innovative. We had a cocktail competition a week or so ago at District 7.
Yeah,
with
you had a big
Maker's
party,
Mark.
didn't you?
And it was a big party
They
and a
were
lot of fun.
delicious. It was great.
And the bartenders were serious.
They were. They worked so hard on those cocktails. They did a beautiful job.
Well,
And the
there-
judges were pretty serious too, other than Jim Caldwell, who was kind of a rookie. But the other two had quite the palate. So Jim was listening and learning.
It's got to be tough on a rookie as someone who's judged a few things. After the first 2 or 3, especially when there's alcohol involved, you go, whoa, they all start tasting the same. You got to be, you got to pace. You really have to pace yourself.
They barely sip.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I'm looking at so again, it's LexingtonRestaurantWeek.com. You can pick it by price point or by geography. Do you want where do you want to go? What part of town?
I love the
You
three
can also make
tiers.
your reservations right online.
I love the
Yeah,
3
quick.
tiers though, because a lot of people can't afford the high tier, and but they want to participate.
Or you
and
may
I
not
think it's
feel
very
like,
democratic.
like going, that big of
All
a
out.
deal and go, put on your ball cap and go
Maybe
to
through the
Ramsey's
week.
and sit in a booth.
through
you
the
know.
week, maybe, and maybe save one of the 39s for weekend or something.
Looking at some of these Zen Sushi and Sake's on there, the Thirsty Fox at Zim's, OVB, Old Vine Bistro, OBC, J Renders, Azure.
I'm looking at the American because I love that place.
Yeah.
And it's so iconic.
And what patios they've got.
Oh,
Yeah.
Chicken margarita, 2 grilled chicken breasts topped with pesto, mozzarella, lemon thyme butter sauce, and garlic roasted tomatoes. Or salmon, 8-ounce broiled with dill hollandaise, and bread pudding of the day, That sounds so American. You know, bread pudding.
You might find that at Josie's too.
I'm
Josie's
looking
is it in the
Honeywood,
19?
Holly Hill Inn, Lockbox. This is, to steal a sports phrase, this is a murderer's row of restaurants. in town.
Without a doubt. I
Yeah.
mean, and they're locally owned. They're our best restaurants, and it's it's to your point. They've had a real hard time.
Yeah.
And even after COVID, as I'm sure you will attest, staffing is it's
it's a
always
nightmare.
a difficult thing.
Yeah.
It's a small business, but it is no small task, is what
Yeah.
I say. So
Now-
my heart goes out to these people as a small business person, because
Now-
it magnify most small businesses by 10, and you've got the restaurant business.
What about, like, I see wineries here? Is that kind of new, or have the wineries always, because we have more and more
Gene
of
Ferris
those.
has been a participant for a number of years.
Okay.
And they've got some excellent food in a beautiful setting.
Fried chicken, warm German potato, and
Jeannie,
cucumber salad,
boy,
grilled
you find
green
Jeannie
onion.
in that kitchen too,
Wow, that is great.
and in the vines.
And I'm assuming there's even more to come. I mean, there's still restaurants that are probably not participating that will in the future.
Yeah, well, we've got just about everybody we want.
Yeah, I love that statement.
I like that. Everyone
That
we
we
want.
want.
And by the way, to Connie's point, when you go to LexingtonRestaurantWeek.com, you can click on the price point, or you can click on a restaurant and see individual menus. But there's an option to make the reservation right from there. So do that. Don't. Sometimes it's okay to show up, and other times you
Oh, yeah,
want
I
to make
wouldn't do
sure.
that.
This week is one of those times you want to have a
It
reservation.
starts tonight.
It starts July 20th and runs through the 30th.
It runs to the 30th, so it's a little more than a week, right?
It's
Little
11
more.
days.
I
So
like
it wraps 2 weekends.
Yeah. Oh, so
That's
that's good.
perfect.
Yeah. So Restaurant Week is a misnomer, but it's also something everyone's familiar with in the nation. It's, and most
Yeah.
restaurant weeks are longer than a week.
Well,
Yeah.
go to LexingtonRestaurantWeek.com and make your reservations and try a few different places. Try a place you've never been
This
to.
is a place where the chefs get their chops too.
Yeah.
They might try something a little different and see if it works. And if it works, they'll put it on the menu.
Yeah, or
So
maybe
that's another thing I think that happens in Restaurant Week.
one of the things you might never get the chance to eat again. So
That's
you might
right.
as well enjoy it.
Yeah.
Connie Jo, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lexington Restaurant Week. Go check it out, LexingtonRestaurantWeek.com. Back in moments, food, news, and Choose Radio.